Okay, here I am. I'm back. I'm live with Jerome on the phone, on the line with me. We are discussing a pretty interesting subject. We're basically discussing what we just started talking about. You know, he's in Indiana. Well, my friend that was supposed to go evening night, she's got to work and she ain't gonna be able to do it. So, but you know, figured me and Jerome will find something to do. But Jerome's way over here. I'm downtown. I'm going over to.
But what I'm saying is the thing.
Here, Jerome, let me talk to you.
I was just saying that if I was married and let's say my wife dies, then I don't want to marry another woman.
I mean, I don't want to marry nobody either. But
I'll move in with the woman and live with her and everything and have a relationship, but I won't live together.
Yep. I mean, I'd be like that too because
especially if I was real close to the first one.
Yeah, let me finish, Jerome. I'm just saying, let me introduce this video, okay?
Yeah.
I'm saying, Jerome's in Indiana, and I'm over downtown, getting ready to go over to Main Street and look at some buildings, some French Quarter-style buildings that look like New Orleans buildings. So I've been meaning to do this video, but for right now, me and Jerome are discussing a subject about people when they die. You know, people, even if they're married or not married or common law marriage, you've been with somebody for a while and that was your first marriage or whatever, and let's say they died and then you left with that, you know how long you got left on this earth, but they wind up, a lot of people, especially men particularly, wind up getting married again after their wife passes away. And well, me and Jerome was discussing that, and well, that was my step grandfather, you know. My grandma, she got divorced, and my grandpa, after they got divorced, she wound up marrying again 3 years later, she got married again. And the guy she married, he was, this was his second marriage because his first wife had passed away, probably wasn't too long ago, but you know, knowing how men are, you know, I guess you got to understand. I don't find nothing wrong with it because, you know, you're grieving over your first wife and you by yourself and he's by himself. And, you know, there's women like that too. You know, you're by yourself grieving over your husband, and sometimes you got to have that other person. I mean, nobody can feel, I mean, if they truly love their wife and husband or whoever, I mean, somebody has to fill the role of being companionship and stuff, because it can get lonely. When someone passes away, it can get lonely. Just imagine you living without your spouse. Hey, Charmaine, just imagine living without your spouse for however long you're going to be stuck on this earth. I mean, there's people that maybe the spouse passed away, like my grandpa. I mean, his wife passed away early 70s, but he didn't pass away till 2000s. So he had been left about 30 years or 30-something years with nobody to spend time with. So he would have got lonely, and it wouldn't again. It's sad to see a man get lonely, a woman. So you know what I'm saying. I don't honestly think I think it's a good thing if people do get married again after somebody dies, or either get married, or I don't even know how to say get married, because your true love is the first one you marry. When you die, you will be buried with your first wife. You know what I'm saying? That's if you choose to be with your first wife. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, my grandpa, my step granddad, he was married 3 times. His first wife died, and then he was married to my grandma for 13 years, and after she passed away, he found somebody else a couple years later. And I think she's still alive. I don't know where she's at now. I don't know if she's still living or not. So that was his third wife, you know.
Well, my thing, I'm going to tell you, when the rich people have parents, they get married and get divorced and things like that, and let's say their parents try to marry somebody else, they won't even accept the new people that they marry, because they don't want their wealth being gone to the wife or the husband.
Well, see, and not only that, it's that, and you just don't trust what the other people's going to do. I mean, when the person dies, see, that's why I'm kind of not against it really, but that's one thing about the concept of, I mean, you can be with somebody, but getting married, everything's on paper, you know? When you're going with somebody, I mean, even if you're just with them by common law, but, you know, I'm saying common law because common law don't exist in a lot of states, but I say this for people that have been with the person they with for over 5 years. You know what I'm saying? I have friends that have been with their man for 25 years, they lived together, raised kids together, had kids together, everything, and never married. Yep. I have one friend, she finally got married. She met her husband when she was only 17, got pregnant by him. Didn't have any more kids. She had trouble having any more kids with him, but she was with the man ever since 92. She's been with him. It was only like couple years ago that she got married in Florida. So they just both got married, finally, tied the knot. I don't know why they waited so long to get married, if they've been together for so long, but there's so many reasons, you know what I'm saying? Because
let me tell you this.
Marriage is on paper. Let me tell you something. Marriage is on paper.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. My thing is that, let's say that my mom and dad, let's say my mother died, and my mom and dad was married, and let's say he gets another woman. Well, I don't have a problem with my dad getting another woman and marry her, but I don't want my dad taking my mother's stuff and giving it to her.
No.
Saying she can have it and run off with it.
Yeah, see.
I feel like what belongs to my mom belongs to me, and it shouldn't be going to her.
See, it's like my aunt, you know what I'm saying? My aunt out in Vegas.
So if my mom owns some property, her family owns some property, or whatever, Joe, I should have the right to get that property and not her.
You know, I'm just saying, you know, it is. I notice it is mostly men that remarry after somebody dies because it's like the women, once their husband dies, they don't get married again. Maybe they'll have a boyfriend, but you ain't gonna see them tie the knot. You know what I'm saying? My grandma, it's just like, well, let's see. It's like my auntie out in Vegas. You know, when my uncle passed away, 2007. She didn't get with nobody. She never got with anybody else. Never. She never did. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she kind of person would get with anybody else. But now my grandma, she was seeing somebody that, I don't know, she was seeing. She was kind of seeing this one guy after, it was about maybe a few years after my grandpa died. The person, though, she was seeing, though, was somebody that, I think it was a cousin of my grandpa that did funerals. He helped take care of my great-grandparents before they died. So, I mean, he had a lot to do with my grandpa. But she was kind of seeing him, but they never lived together, nothing like that, you know. But sometimes now that you mention this, you know, it's like, what if my mom dies first? And what if my mom passes away first? And then my dad's left here, and Dad's gonna get lonely, and you know what I'm saying? I don't know if Dad will go marry somebody else or not. That kind of, you know what? Now that you tell me that shit, I kind of wonder because, you know, I ain't looking forward to any of my parents passing away, but it's kind of like this. Mom said that whoever goes first, you know, whatever, if one of them goes first, they hope the second one goes shortly after, you know? They don't, it's just kind of like my great-grandma. She died in September. But 6 months later, her husband, my great-grandpa, he passed away. She said that's the way she wants it to happen.
Well, my thing is, all I got to say is, I don't mind, him marrying another woman. And if he dies, then, if he wants to leave everything to his woman, that's fine, and not give me none. But the point of it is, don't take what belongs to my mom and give it to her. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm having my problem.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Because
what belongs to my mom is what comes to me. I'm the second one.
It's just kind of like me, though. If I'm not a man, I'm a woman. But even like I said, if I was married and my husband passed away before I did, and let's say I'm out here 2 or 3 years, grieving over my husband, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still I'd probably, like I said, I would see other men. But I think most of the men I would prefer to see or stick with is somebody that had something to do with my man, you know, my husband. It could be his brother, his cousin. Let's say his cousin's not married, his cousin lost his wife too, and, you know, like I said, I believe in doing just like my grandma did.
I mean, if it's a house that my dad and my mom lived in, but he wants to get remarried and have a wife living there, I think, to be honest with you, he needs to go on and sell the house, or give it to me, or go on and sell it, and he keep half the money, and I keep half the money, and because I don't want to get the house that my mom and dad, didn't got.
Well,
it's crazy.
I don't know. See, if that was, if
that'd
it
be
was,
suspicions right there.
I know. Well, let's just say though. Well, if it was a house though, well, like I said, the parents should give their kid. That's the thing about getting married again, because you don't know if that person is going to try to get some of the stuff that you try to get your money or get your house, get your car and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe if they want to, let's just say I did have something, if I wanted to will something to a second husband or second wife or whatever, my second marriage, it ain't going to be a big much, but let's just say I'm going ahead, let's just say I have let's just say I do have I have money and I actually got more than one house, you know what I'm saying? And let's say I got a condo or a house somewhere, and let's say I've been with the second wife and we were close and married for considerable amount of time, just like my grandpa was married. Just because, like my grandpa Spears' great step-grandpa was married to my grandma for 13 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I would actually will the person maybe a house or car or maybe stuff that I have, but it wouldn't be a big amount of stuff. It would be stuff that, I don't think my wife, my kids would want, If none of my wife or main family want the stuff, they can get it. But as far as money and shit, no. But see, that's what happened with my uncle. He got married again the second time after my aunt passed away in 2003. I mean, they were married for more than 50. Well, they were married for 55 years. 55 years they was married. She passed away, and he got remarried again 5 years later. But when he remarried, and I mean, he got the wedding and everything. But when he got married, and then when he died, he passed away maybe 3 years ago or so. I don't know when he passed away. The woman's family tried to get, and the woman herself, they tried to get some of the money and everything. Did all kinds of shit, sneaky shit. And my family, oh man, my family and them, they was beefing. And my family on that side does not know what beefing and drama is. They've had like a hunky-dory life. I don't know how they managed to have that, but I mean, they've run into situations that they've never really encountered. Basically, it's kind of like been this way. Like, I call my family, though, they're kind of strange because they're the type, they've always wanted the kids to get married by the time they was 21. It's like a thing, they want them married at 21 years old. You imagine living like that, being told that you got to marry by the time you're 21, and it's like my aunts and cousins, they was managed to find a good wife at that time. But now my cousins didn't have so much good luck because when they married, they found out either the woman or the guy cheated on them or the woman cheated on them, and they got divorced. And they had kids by the woman, and now you got to wind up raising the kid on their own. But my cousin, she did remarry again. My cousin got married this time, but see, the guy she was married to before, he was an older man. He was older than she was and everything. I think she married her boss or something. One of her bosses at work she got married to. But he wound up doing her wrong, so. And that just shocked the hell out of him.
That's the reason why I say a lot of drama carries on in families when it comes to when the parents die. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
Yeah, it really.
I tell you what,
especially rich families.
and O.J. Simpson.
They're gonna get their parents' money.
Wait till O.J. Simpson passes away. Oh my God, that is gonna be ugly.
Huh?
Wait till O.J. Simpson passes away.
Oh, it's gonna be
That
ugly.
is gonna be hell.
The governments are gonna try to go after all the kids and everything.
Yep. The Simpson family, you know, like his kids, especially.
I don't think the Browns apply to try to go after the situation.
Oh no.
Because I know because Nicole's kids is already got it. So you know what I mean? They already got it.
Yeah, but you know
I think
what?
what's
They
gonna
might try
happen
to
is
go.
the governments are gonna try to be greedy. They're gonna try to get their
They
part.
are, and you know, the Browns kids, Sydney and Justin. Let me tell you about Sydney and Justin. They are very discreet on what they do and everything. You do not hear from them. You know how you told me?
They are discreet. They're very discreet. That's like
they know what's going to happen.
You know, they all have all kind of property in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They know what's going to happen. But Simpson's mom is still alive, though, isn't she?
Huh?
Hey, Charles, is Simpson's mom still alive?
His mom?
Yes.
His mom died.
Oh, but no, his kids. I mean, I just wonder now, does Sydney and Justin have good relationship with Arlene and Jason? But I don't say much about Jason because honestly, I think Jason might have been the one that, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people say he did it. I ain't talking about it. I'm getting saying he didn't do it, but someone he know did it. I don't know. But that was a trial, man. That was a good day, I know, at Morehead. Boy, that was a good day. Innocent.
Still on?
Barb, hey, Barb, what's up? I know nobody wants to hear about the O.J. Simpson case. You heard about it enough in the 90s, but no, I didn't think he was guilty.
But I already say, I'm telling you, the Goldmans are gonna get their part. They gonna try to get.
Goldmans are gonna. That's what I'm saying. And see, I think you know what I think could happen too. The Goldmans and Browns could get into it over it.
But I will tell you, his kids are Joey. His kids are very discreet about everything.
They all are. I don't think it's just Sydney and Justin.
Nobody knows what they do.
Sydney, Justin, and then Arlene is too. Arlene and
all of them
kids
are
from his
discreet about
first
that.
marriage.
You know what's bad? You know what? Because when they try to interview Cindy, she be trying to hide from the camera. Like she be telling she won't even talk to the news people about her dad.
No,
They ask about her dad. She won't even talk to the media. None of that.
Talk about any if
they don't even let the news people come and try to put them. I mean, they put them on TV, but not very much. And when they try to put on TV, they won't talk.
I tell you, when a celebrity dies, I'm gonna tell you, and you know, have families and everybody fighting over shit. That's gonna be the worst one right there. The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
O.J. Simpson.
Because see, the kids know exactly. They know that the Goldmans are trying to pick on O.J. Simpson every day now about money.
They're picking on him right now.
Goldmans are gonna try to pick on them to get what they can.
Man can't do nothing without somebody without them. I'm telling you. But you know, I ain't gonna say it, but I kind of think Fred Goldman might be kind of racist. He's racist because he when he was in that courtroom and they called the verdict, he was calling OJ the N-word and everything. But like I said, I don't honestly think he did it, but he probably knows who did it. You know,
and I bet you Ryan Goldman was to find out that somebody else killed his son. But you know what? He's still gonna go after OJ regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless.
I don't know.
If he find out that OJ Simpson didn't do it and somebody else did it, he's still gonna go after him.
I'm surprised they didn't go after his son. But I don't know. How was the relationship with Nicole and his first kids? You know, I don't think it was that good. And honestly, I think his son could have done it, even if he didn't. Even if OJ had no idea, because they probably jealous over the fact that I don't know if he did it, but like I said, they could have been jealous over the fact that OJ left their mama for her. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't see how they liked her.
But I tell you what, It's gonna probably be a 30 back.
This is gonna be World War III with the Simpsons. I'm telling you, you're gonna hear about it all on the news and everything. You know what? I think the Browns kids, they should. I ain't trying to say it. I'm surprised they ain't go to another country and live. Shit, if I had to go through the shit they gone through and what could happen when the dad passed away, I'd be in another country somewhere.
Cause you know what? Cause that's the thing. All his kids are being discreet. They have the media all in.
Then if you go to another country, you got to watch what country you go to, because over in Europe and all them places, they knew about that case, and a lot of them are probably saying the same shit. So it's like I don't think she can.
It's no.
I think if she tried to go, let's just say Sydney tried to move over to England, England probably wouldn't let her live there because they think her father did what he did. But she could live like I wouldn't. If I was her, I wouldn't go to countries like England or Germany, places like that.
Yeah.
But she got a company and stuff, and she could take. Where she would probably have to go to a country.
Well, I did watch a video on YouTube that the government did try to go after O.J. Simpson's kids and yet with Nicole Brown.
Yeah.
Because he found out they own apartments all in Florida.
Yep. See,
yeah.
I think
the Goldmans was trying to go after his kid.
Oh, they are, and that's gonna be fucked up.
The Goldmans think
the
Goldmans think that O.J. Simpson gave all the money to his children that he had with Nicole when he went to prison.
But I was saying this.
And the thing is, they trying to go after the kids. They try to ask, how do they come up with the money to get all the property they own? Like, how do they come up with the money?
I'll tell you what, my mom.
They said something about that if they found out that it came from O.J. Simpson's money, that they can take some of the properties that they own, not all of them, but some of them that they own, and give them to the government.
Yep.
But then some about that, O.J. Simpson's money is so protected through Florida or whatever, or where he lives at.
See, I'm surprised
they can't really go after the kids.
He needs to take his kids.
Kids will have all the money.
You know what? I think he should take his kids and move over to Switzerland, because I don't think Switzerland, anytime they get immigrants over in Europe, Switzerland pretty much lets them come
up. Simpson does any movies or commercials, the Browns are going to get half of that. They're going to be fighting to get half of that.
If I was him, that's what I'm saying. If I was him, I would move to another country if I was him. Because as long as they're here in the United States, they're going to really try to go after that money. They're going to keep hounding him and hounding him and hounding him. But I know if he goes to England, England ain't going to let him come there. I know how England is. England won't let anybody come to this country.
They said that they have taken stuff from OJ. Like, they said they took stuff.
They don't even like Trump coming over to England. England don't even want Trump over there. They're not prejudiced, but they are kind of like.
The thing is, they tore. Did you know that they tore? Do you know that OJ Simpson had to sell his house, and the house got tore down?
Oh yeah, I know that. Yep, they tore the house down and everything.
See, they can't make him get rid of his house over in Florida, but they can do it in California.
Yeah,
hey Barb. Protected in California is suspension.
What do you think of this conversation we had? We was talking about people dying, and now we talking about, when people die, and when you got the family fighting over money and shit. I'm telling you, I think the worst, like I said, when it comes to celebrities, O.J. Simpson's gonna have the worst one. Them kids and all of them are gonna be fighting over that money.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm surprised they even stayed in the United States. Like I said, how old? OJ's in his 70s, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't know what kind of health he's in. I heard he's not in the best health, If he passes away, shoot. I'm surprised I'm surprised he ain't done it yet. I don't know if I heard it's true, but I heard Trump wants to put OJ on his cabinet. They talk, say he's racist and stuff, but I honestly heard Trump say he wanted to put OJ on a cabinet position in the White House. Oh, they're gonna.
Oh my gosh!
That's I'm surprised
they can ruin him and get voted in.
He won't get voted in, so I don't think he'll do it. But
they can do that.
Oh yeah, they're trying to
teach his ass now. Like OJ.
I mean, they trying to peach his ass now, the Democrats. But shit, He does that shit, damn, his supporters will run him at he'll lose all his supporters and he won't get voted in, so I don't think he'll be doing it.
Well, I'm gonna have to get ready to get off this phone now.
Okay.
I'll call you back.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later. Where you going right now?
No, I'll let you know.
I'm downtown. I'm over by the Art Center and stuff. I'm over here getting ready to do a video about Louisville and New Orleans, so.
I hope to have you tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I ain't going to be able to go. I got to work now. They work me only on Saturday and Sunday at Walmart.
Yeah.
I'm missing out. I'm going to miss out. But it's like I have to take the job, though. I can request a weekend off or something, but they act like they can't use anybody during the week. They during the week, they don't need people. Now, Friday might be the only day they do.
Okay.
Or like I said.
I'm